Hey, welcome back. We're here in our studio and you just made your first project. You're now a beginner with the basics of sewing. You know about the textiles, you know about the tools. Now let's go over some more specifics, like how to cut our fabric. Remember, I don't think I've said this enough, but you always want to use fabric scissors to cut fabric, not normal scissors. And when you're using fabric scissors, you only want to cut fabric with them, not anything else that will dull them. Once again, I have my rotary blade, or my fabric scissors, or my pinking shears. Pinking shears are ideal for cutting fabric if you don't want it to fray while you cut it. If you're a beginner, cut out all of your pieces with these guys, and you don't even have to worry about finishing them for now. We'll finish our projects the professional way later, but these are actually quite helpful for beginners. Everyone else just uses these or these. You can too if you're a beginner, don't worry. Fabric scissors and a rotary cutter, which you need a rotary cutting mat, a self-healing mat to use with this one, but they'll be great and your fabric will be very smooth when you cut it. So what do you need when you cut? You need fabric. So here I have a piece of muslin. Muslin is very raw fabric. This one's been bleached white, but often it's more of a canvasy tan color. And we have our selvage edges. Those, you remember, are part of the weft. And this here is our warp. And this is also known as the grain. So we match up our selvage edges at the top. And I want to show you something really interesting about fabric. Here I have a piece of the same muslin that I prepared. I'm just going to cut a little bit out of it and watch. It tears into a perfectly straight line. You can't, I mean, it curled on itself, but I just wanted to express to you how the fibers are all woven. They're crisscrossed and they're perfectly perpendicular to each other on a grid. Very good to know for cutting straight lines. So we have our fabric here doubled over. We have our selvage edge and our folded edge. And basically all you need to know for cutting is whenever you line up your pattern pieces, which we aren't using just yet, but when you do, is you always want them to be on the grain, which is either here, this along the warp, or along the cross grain, our weft. One more thing to remember is before you cut, you want to make sure your iron or your fabric is pressed. I was trying to press it out, having some difficulty, but it's a lot better than it was before. This was nice and wrinkly. So we just wanted to flatten this out with the iron, make it smoother so that when the fabric was laying over itself, it would be a lot more smooth and lie flat, and also so that when it was folded over, the grain lines would match up on both sides, because when you're cutting, you often cut two pieces at a time, or you cut one piece along the folded edge. So let's demonstrate some cutting. I'm just going to do a basic straight line, work my way up. So I'm going to start here and just using my fabric scissors, my fabric shears. And what's important is that this flat edge stays against the bottom of my cutting mat like this. That's a reason I like fabric scissors, is they're nice and flat so that you don't really have to move too much to stay along that same grain line. You might see professionals cutting really quickly, so much so that they're just holding the scissors and it magically like cuts itself. I want to try it. Let's see if I can do it. So as you can tell, not the best way to cut a smooth line. Perhaps with practice it'll be prettier, but it is a way to quickly cut if you just know you need a chunk of fabric. However, we prefer smooth lines. I'm also going to use my rotary blade just to show you. It's very simple, same thing, but this time I don't have to open and close my hands. And I'm getting a nice smooth edge. And last, I have my pinking shears. They work very similar to fabric scissors, or those fun craft scissors you might have used when you're scrapbooking or as a kid. The jagged edge prevents fraying here on the sides. Pinking shears. So now you can see all of these different scissors and how they cut. Now let's go over some more details which you'll need for your next project. How to hem. Hey again, Lisa here. Let's learn to hem. I'll show you the basics as well as an advanced way.